is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next 2 hours, the insane Daryl Wayne and I are going to explore some issues facing each and every one of us. Everything from taking a look at our medical records to a 75-year-old man who jumps on motorcycles and races. I think that might be a little bit nuts, but hey, what the heck? We're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about brain injury, specifically concussions. Our guests, as we begin the show today, are Christopher Hardy and Jake VanLandingham. Jake is Dr. VanLandingham. Christopher, are you like me and you just have undergraduate stuff, or are you a doc too?
Nope, I'm just an aloe farmer.
Ah, gotcha. Well, let's talk about the two companies because your two companies have gotten together to create something that I think is going to be very important for people who are in sports or even everyday life, because concussions happen easily, and often we don't even know we have one. Can you guys, let's talk about your companies. First of all, we have AloeVeritas, and we have Prevacus? Prevacus, okay, Prevacus. Got it. And that's Jake. Jake's company is Prevacus, and AloeVeritas is Christopher's. Let's talk about each of your companies and what they're about, and then let's talk about concussions. Christopher, let's start with you. What is AloeVeritas about?
Okay, thank you so much for having me on. So AloeVeritas we created to bring natural aloe back to the forefront of wellness. For 6,000 years, humankind has used aloe vera naturally. You scoop it out of a leaf and you put it on your skin for sunburn. Of course, everybody knows wound care. But also, you scoop it out of a leaf and you ingest it. Again, for 6,000 years, it has been used. It wasn't until the last 40 years that industry has taken this incredible botanical and changed it into a spray-dried, freeze-dried powder or a concentrate that doesn't have any health benefits whatsoever, but yet they're putting it in your cosmetics or your drinks and calling it aloe. Everybody has an innate sense that aloe is good, and so you buy it and you don't know any better. So we created AloeVeritas to bring natural aloe back into drinks and, of course, our creams and lotions and wellness products and a beauty line, primarily because we want to help people. We want to give them natural alternatives to or natural solutions to some of the health problems that they have, in lieu of taking pharmaceuticals. And so we started introducing the products I had developed last year, and we ran into a doctor in North Dallas here in Colleyville. He's practicing OBGYN, practicing for 40 years, and he had been doing breast cancer prevention research, and he and his colleagues had determined that what they were seeing with the onset of breast cancer was caused by a distress in the tissue around the cell, not the cell itself. So they developed a group of natural bioceuticals that to target inflammation and this distress in the breast tissue to reverse or halt the progression of onset breast cancer. And it worked so well. It worked so well that they were able to get a patent on it. And when I was introduced to them, he had already had the patent for it, and he told me this story as they were testing this product on women, their patient population. They'd ask the ladies, how do you find my cream, ma'am? And they said, well, I don't know, doc, but the arthritis in my hands is gone. And my husband took my tube because he had knee pain, and now his pain's gone. So can you give me another tube because I can't find mine? So it turned out that this invention of his, because it was so good at targeting the extracellular matrix, the tissue around the cell for inflammation, it also had an analgesic effect. And it led into some acute, some chronic, subchronic joint pain studies. They tested on thyroid, tested on a lot of conditions. And it was very, very effective.
Let's take a look at something, and we're going to bring Jake VanLandingham in just a moment to talk about Prevacus, and that is inflammation, and both alternative doctors and even some traditional, what we'll call traditional doctors, are saying inflammation is the cause of all disease. And you're saying that your Aloe Vera products can help alleviate that inflammation, which would make pain go away.
Yeah, absolutely. Aloe Vera is a natural anti-inflammatory, both taken internally and when used topically. Now, this product that we have, AloeMD, we didn't know how good it was until after we started testing it on, of course, chronic arthritis sufferers, even rheumatoid arthritis. But we ran into a sports doctor in St. Louis, Dr. Chris McCluskey. He started testing on Division I athletes, football players, and the recovery times for acute sports injuries, blown knees, ankles, broken bones was off the chart. Sometimes 2 and 3 times faster. These kids are recovering and getting back to the field, and that led us to a relationship with former NFL players and the NFL Players Association. And one thing led to another, and a colleague of one of our team members introduced it to Brett Favre, who tried it on his tendonitis, and it worked so well, he invited me to dinner. And when we were meeting and talking about for dinner, he explained to me what he was doing with Prevacus, and I explained that this product AloeMD, I remember from the doc's research, he had told me that when put on the carotid artery, it could perhaps onboard some chemicals into the brain that would. So
it's a deliver. It can be used as a delivery system.
That's correct. And so he said, "Look, you've got to talk to Jake VanLandingham."
And now we're going to do that and find out about Jake, if you don't mind. Jake, you have a PhD in neuroscience. One of the biggest problems I think we have in this country are concussions. I don't think we even know what they really are. We know that there's inflammation. We know there can be swelling. But you can have a concussion from a car accident, from falling down. I mean, there's so many ways of getting a concussion. Are concussions serious, first of all, as a neuroscientist?
Yeah, so about 15% of concussed patients end up with what's called post-concussion syndrome. That means 3 months after the concussion, they're still experiencing the same symptoms they had immediately, which would be headache, dizziness, nausea, and short-term memory impairment. So sort of like a short-term amnesia. Unfortunately, post-concussion syndrome is highly associated also with post-traumatic stress disorder in our military. The signature wound for all of the Middle Eastern theater has been mild traumatic brain injury. But you're right. I mean, you've got the number one cause of brain injury, concussion still today, is actually motor vehicle accidents.
And then, of course, and then also during you guys are working with the NFL. We've talked to at least one housewife of a former NFL player who, every Sunday gets beat up. And that's got to be extraordinarily harmful to the brain. And so we need something to help with that, don't we? Or get rid of football.
Well, right. Well, nobody wants to get rid of football, including me. I love football. I played college football. I love it with all my heart. But certainly I'm more worried about the youth and them experiencing concussions because they're more susceptible to them. I mean, let's be honest, the brain doesn't fully myelinate or develop until you're about 21 years old. So you've got these individuals, these youth athletes who are getting exposed to repetitive head injuries when they don't need to. I mean, let's play some flag football for a while, maybe in high school get them into tackle football, and maybe teach them the skills of tackle football before they even engage with it. But to add to what we were saying, beyond military car wrecks, certainly sports has a high risk for concussion. And like you spoke about earlier, I mean, the number one cause of death with elderly falls is brain injury. I mean, and in the elderly, their ability to recover is much like youth. They have a lot harder time getting over a concussion than folks between the ages of 21 and 65.
So over 65, over 65 is considered elderly?
That's correct. So over 65 and under 21 are the populations of folks that have a harder time getting over a brain injury.
And it would be the same as, falling down and breaking your arm, I suppose. I mean, a 70-year-old person who breaks their arm is going to recover have a longer recovery than somebody who doesn't. Our guests are Christopher Hardy and Jake VanLandingham from Prevacus and AloeVeritas. And we're talking about brain injuries and inflammation. I think I want a vat of Aloe MD, and when we come back, we're going to try to convince these guys to let me swim in one very soon, because every now and then there may be a little bit of a pain that I have. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne here at Late Night Health. Join us at LateNightHealth.com. We'll have information on Aloe MD and the two companies we're talking about on the website. I'm Mark Alyn. Don't go away. More coming up as Late Night Health takes to the air.
Welcome to Guide to the Soul. This is Robert Clancy. When your life's problems seem to rise and fall like the waves on a stormy ocean, let hope become your life raft and faith become your paddle. Every sea touches a calm shoreline somewhere in the world, and eventually this storm that you're going through will pass too. Never allow negative circumstances to define you. Whatever happens to you in life may be fated, and it certainly can't be changed after the fact. What you can change is how you feel about it and how you're going to let it affect you. Today is a brand new day, and as with any gift, share it with love and gratitude.
For more inspiration from Robert Clancy, visit GuideToTheSoul.com or go to the Moments with Robert page on LateNightHealth.com. Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com.